Now, to find out more about Georgia's economy and its growing presence on international markets, let's bring in Mamuka Tsereteli. He's a research director at Johns Hopkins Central Asia and Caucasus Institute. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Now, let's start with a look at the new One Belt, One Road initiative. How do you think this is going to impact Georgia's economy?
This is actually the most important element of future Georgian economy. Location of Georgia is one of the greatest assets country has, and the land bridge that connects Georgia and Azerbaijan and beyond through Caspian Sea going to Central Asia. It connects Asia to Europe, Europe to Asia, Mediterranean region to Asia. So I think it's a defining moment of development of Georgia today to establish this connection between Asia and Europe, not just with the Central Asian states, but in all China and other Asian powers as well.
Now, you can't talk about Georgia without talking about wine, and the wine and grapes were popular trade items on the old Silk Road. So how do you think with the new Silk Road, how is that going to impact the wine industry?
Georgia tries to trade. It's a free country. It's an open economy. And as it was described earlier by your anchors in Tbilisi, describing this beautiful scenery there. And Georgia really allows to trade, first of all, to import everything that is needed in the country freely, but also it allows to export major items of Georgian economy. And wine is one of the most important elements of Georgian economy, not just in terms of scale of the financial scale of the export, but also meaning that wine has for Georgia, cultural heritage that is represented by wine and that is exported with the wine to other countries.
Now, tell us more about this cultural heritage, because for some people, wine, it's just a commodity. So tell us what makes it so unique when it comes to how Georgia makes it.
There are several things that is unique about Georgian wines. First of all, it's oldest, if Georgia, if you look at most of the wine historians consider Georgia to be the cradle of the wine, the first place where cultural winemaking started. And it had 8,000 years of uninterrupted production of wines. Throughout invaders, throughout many difficulties, Georgia was producing wine all the time. So it's an important element of history. Second thing is that it's a part of the spiritual life of Georgia. It provides element of sharing, element of interaction between people. Georgian tradition of supra, which is the dinner table that brings people together, is driven by toasts, by somebody, by tamada, who is a toast marker, somebody who announced the toast, and every member of the actual supra, actual table, contributes to the discussion, contributes to the this element of cultural interaction and sharing.
So it really does seem like it's a real experience. And so with that being said, you have this wine industry. How does that open the door when it comes to the tourism industry?
You know, I think, as I said, wine is the best ambassador for Georgia. Wherever wine is exported, any country, including the United States, when people try Georgian wine, they always ask, what is the food that goes well with this wine? And then they ask, how can I end up in Georgia so that I could try this wine inside of Georgia? And I always tell them that, you know, best Georgian food and best Georgian wine are obviously in Georgia. So in a sense, it's a business card for Georgia that invites people to visit country, go there, experience not just food and wine, but also huge and very long cultural heritage, very deep cultural heritage that country has.
And just lastly, in terms of some of the challenges that the tourism industry is facing, what would you say are the real headwinds there?
You know, Georgia already receives more tourists than its population. More than 5 million people visited Georgia just 2015. So infrastructure development is very important. That's why foreign direct investments that is invested into tourism infrastructure is very essential. There are many companies from all around the world who are looking at Georgia from this perspective, as well as transportation. Of course, relatively affordable airlines that bring tourists to Georgia is very important. There are many of them now flying from Europe to Georgia, but I think it's important to have some Asian airlines to fly to Georgia as well, to visit country, to enjoy food and wine, and to enjoy also knowing Georgians well, because Georgians are very hospitable people. So we should invite your watchers to visit Georgia soon.
I will definitely say that having seen some of the beautiful scenery and the wines is definitely something we want to experience. Thank you so much for joining us, Mamuka Tsereteli.
Thanks for inviting.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.